Hey guys, welcome to another episode of HalfTime Roomies. And today's episode is on the bad boys of football. And what we're trying to find out today is who's the baddest boy of them all. Yash, would you consider yourself to be a bad boy?
I think I'm more of a cute boy.
Yeah, true. I think this is the comments you've been getting in the comment section lately.
But it seems like most of the comments are from my wife itself, who's been using these fake profiles,
ghost
profiles,
accounts and stuff. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When we eventually gain some more popularity, maybe eventually that will change.
Yeah, she's trying. I think she's trying to keep my fame in check. So
Yeah, that's good. Keeps you grounded. No. So how we're going to do this today is we're going to have a bracket. We have a bracket of the 16 baddest players in football. And eventually we start off at 16, we go down to 8, we go down to 4, and then we have our finals.
the grand finale.
The grand finale of the Bad Boy Championship.
Yep.
So let's go right from the top. We've got, in our very first matchup, we've got Eric Cantona and Diego Costa. So who are you going to take now?
So I think we'll both be in agreement with this one. I think it's Eric Cantona. I think with the flying kick to the Crystal Palace fan, I think Cantona takes this one. But I think you have an argument for Costa as well.
Yeah, man. Diego Costa is a bit of a lunatic, dude.
Yes.
He has a fucking short temper. He went back in his first game back at Atletico, he got a red card because he elbowed a dude.
Surprisingly, he scored the winning goal, elbowed the dude, and got a red card.
That's Diego Costa.
That's Costa.
If you had to sum up Diego Costa, that would be it. So you're saying that flying kick beats elbow to the face in your return to Atletico?
Yeah, I think Eric Cantona would eat Diego Costa for breakfast and then spit him out by lunch.
Agreed. You know what? I would go there as well.
Yeah.
And as United fans, I think it's the least we could do.
Oh yeah, King Eric
Okay,
all the way.
so we're in agreement then. We have Eric Cantona, winner of matchup 1.
Yep.
Matchup 2 then.
Matchup 2, yeah. So matchup 2 is between Wimbledon and EPL favorite Vinnie Jones squaring up against Paolo Di Canio. But let's see, what's your argument for either of those?
Okay, so with Paolo Di Canio, he's a fucking fascist, dude. He literally made the Roman salute
Yeah.
at one point, and is a self-described fascist. He's also a bit of a mental torturer.
He is. I mean, Di Canio does have some issues. I mean, I think even as a manager.
Yeah, exactly. So when he was manager of, I think, Sunderland, he banned players from having ice in their Coke, and he banned them from singing. And players said it really fucked with their minds.
Absolutely. An absolute moron, by the way. But then we have Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones, who I think is pretty famous for grabbing and crushing up guys' balls. So I guess in the matchup of fascist versus ball crusher, I think the ball crusher wins.
Ball crusher wins.
Yeah.
I think let's go with
And
ball
that's just
crusher.
one side of Vinnie Jones. I mean, Vinnie Jones is a terrifying human being, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah, for sure.
We'll get more into that, I think, in the next round.
Yeah, he has a reputation for a reason.
Yeah.
So in our third matchup, we have Gennaro Gattuso and the absolute beast, Pepe,
The Portuguese puppy.
the Portuguese puppy. So Gattuso is like physically, like he's one stocky motherfucker. He goes up against the best of them. He will fucking shoulder barge you like there's no tomorrow. So it's a bit of a contest over there. Even when he's gotten into fights, when he's gotten into injuries, he's actually gone a game with a torn anterior cruciate ligament,
Yeah.
decided to like play on and went on to win the game.
Yeah, played against Crotone in December 2008, and they won the game. And but again, Pepe, man, so Pepe also cannot be discounted. I mean, Gattuso, for as much of a beast he was, Pepe kicked Javier Casquero on the ground and kept on kicking him,
Oh, man.
and then pinched him.
Yeah,
and then,
and he shoved
and then
his
pulled
head.
his hair and then shoved him
he
down.
Shoved his head into the ground.
Yeah,
as
Pepe
well.
is Pepe. I think Pepe is one of the dirtiest players I've ever seen,
Oh yeah, for sure.
because
Agreed.
he's more of a child. It seems like
Yeah,
he
it's more
just
of like a tantrum.
yeah,
kind
he
of a thing.
throws more of tantrums. So, but who do you think takes it between Reno and Pepe?
So I would go with Gattuso just
Yeah.
because if you can play through a torn anterior cruciate ligament in a fight between the two of them, regardless of the damage that Pepe does,
It's
I
badass.
think Gattuso is just gonna
That's
like power
badass.
through it.
Yeah, I think so. I think Reno Gattuso takes this for this round.
Outstanding.
But then let's come down to your favorite,
Chompy Chomperson.
Chompy Chomperson.
Luis Suarez.
Luis
The
Suarez.
serial biter.
The serial biter versus Joey the Maniac Barton.
Oh, another one of my favorites.
Yes.
So in this case, Luis Suarez, man, dude, he bites. You can't get to within like 3 feet of him without him biting someone. Most players have had to get restraining orders against him just because he bites.
Okay, Suarez has bitten, I think, 3 people in his career. He also bit
That's a
Giorgio
lot, by the way.
Chiellini in the World Cup.
Let's not say it like as though it's just 3 people.
But hear me out with Joey Barton, and this is why this guy is absolutely a maniac. He got in a bar fight, and he punched this guy 20 times, knocking his teeth out. He was that fucking insane. So if you get Suarez with his buck teeth trying to bite Joey Barton,
He's beaten his teeth out.
He has
Chompy
nothing to
Chomperson
show.
has no chompers left.
he just becomes Ompy Omperson.
Okay, so Toothless Suarez loses then?
Of course, man.
Okay, fine.
course.
Toothless Suarez, that's the
Yeah.
chink in his armor.
Yeah.
No. Okay, cool. I'm
That's
good
the
with that.
chomp in his armor.
That's the chomp in his armor. I'm good with that, man. Okay, so with that one, we have Joey Barton who wins. Next up, we have Roy Keane and we have Sergio Ramos.
Yep.
Now, we'll have to suspend our bias because we're both United fans, but
Yes.
still. What's your case for Roy Keane?
I mean, Roy Keane, FA Cup final, semi-final replay, 95 against Crystal Palace. And so Gareth Southgate comes lunging into Roy Keane. Roy Keane kind of moves from jumps over Southgate, stomps his thigh, and then deliberately stamps his stomach as well, and gets sent off.
That's Roy Keane, man. That's
That's
for
Roy
you.
Keane's career summed up.
So with Ramos, my particular incident that I'm going to choose to defend Ramos is the Liverpool final
Okay.
when he broke Salah's shoulder and he fucking concussed Karius as well in the same game. So, I mean, he has that bit of that feisty side to him too, man. He seems like a dirty kind of fighter too.
I think just on the virtue of Liverpool not winning that Champions League, I would give it to Ramos. But I guess in a fight between Ramos and Keane, I think Keane just kills Ramos.
You know what I'll also say though? Because Sergio Ramos seems like a clumsy guy, dude. You fucking remember the part where he dropped the fucking Copa del Rey cup when he was on the bus? Yeah, he's not
Too
good with his
clumsy,
hands. He's not good with his hands.
I mean, like they said in the Wire, you come at the king, you best not miss.
Exactly.
So with Roy Keane, I think if you miss, you're dead.
Yeah, for sure, man. There's no room for error there.
Yeah.
So then next up we have Mario Balotelli and Duncan Ferguson.
Yeah. This is a bit hard to judge because Duncan Ferguson doesn't have a lot of incidents, but the ones that he does have are absolutely insane. I mean, Ferguson thrashed 2 burglars who broke into his house so bad that both of them had to be in the hospital for 3 days.
Oh yeah, and then they spent 3 days in
3
the
days
hospital.
in the
and
hospital.
Then they had to go to jail.
And then they had to go to jail.
Yeah, but you know what? My defense of Balotelli in this
Yeah.
case, he's a fucking maniac, dude. He burned down his own house. He fucking had fireworks in his washroom. And this guy seems like a guy who has like a little, screw loose in the head. So
He
when
does,
you bring
yeah.
that kind of guy into a fight, I feel like you might go in like looking for a fist fight, but this dude will probably bring a flamethrower or something.
Oh yeah. He's a maniac. So who do you think wins this fight?
Dude, Balotelli, man. He's a
Balotelli.
fucking maniac. Dude.
Well done.
Okay, next up, we have Zlatan Ibrahimovic and we have Rene Higuita. Now, why is Rene Higuita in this fucking list?
Right. So Rene Higuita is an amazing guy. Rene Higuita played for Colombia. He wasn't the most prolific goalkeeper by any standards, but this guy had connections to Pablo Escobar. And as far as my research told me, I think he went to prison, right? And I think he was involved in kidnapping.
In a kidnapping.
In a
as well.
kidnapping.
Yeah.
I think for $64,000, I think he had to pay off somebody for
Yeah,
$64,000.
but he wasn't the one who kidnapped.
But he wasn't the one who kidnapped. Yeah.
He was the one who actually saved the person from kidnapping.
Yeah.
But made some money off it.
Yeah.
And still had to go to jail because that's a weird Colombian
it's
law.
apparently it was a law back then in Colombia that if you kidnap someone, you cannot make a
You can't make
financial
a profit
off it.
So otherwise, it's fine. So don't make money off your
Yeah.
kidnap. Don't double dip.
Yeah. Please don't. Please. Colombian drug cartels, please. If you kidnap someone, do not take money, please, please.
And let the bad boys tell you that.
Yes.
So, but his contender is Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Zlatan.
Man. Dude, that dude will fucking roundhouse kick anyone.
Oh,
so Rene Higuita is known obviously famously for that little scorpion kick of his. But like Zlatan Ibrahimovic is known for his roundhouse kicks to the head.
Yeah, he kicked Casano, his own teammate, a couple of times, I think.
In the head.
In the head.
Once during an interview?
During interview.
Yeah. And the second time in practice.
Yeah.
So clearly this man does not give a fuck.
Yeah, and I mean, Zlatan, with Zlatan, it's, I think it's kind of our blessing that we have Zlatan on this planet.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So we are in agreement that Zlatan wins then?
Yeah, Zlatan takes this.
Zlatan.
There's too much firepower there for Higuita to cancel that.
I agree because this is a matchup between the two of them. I don't think Escobar's army is going to do anything to Zlatan.
Yeah. Especially now since he's dead.
Yeah, that point will help a little.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have next then?
So the last matchup for the round of 16 is our own Georgie Best
Georgie Best.
and Oliver Kahn.
Fight.
So let me go for Oliver Kahn.
Yep.
I'm gonna make the case for Oliver Kahn.
Yep.
6 foot beast, dude. Fucking German national keeper, captain, leadership skills over there. But more than anything else, he's a fucking cold-blooded motherfucker.
Yes.
Dude, that guy had a charity match to raise money for an orphanage, and every goal that was scored in that penalty shootout where the kids were shooting penalties against him, money would be donated to the orphanage.
Yeah. How old were the kids though? Tell that.
They were 9 years old.
9 years old.
These kids were 9 years old, and Oliver Kahn, when there's money at stake, saved all those penalties. So no money went to the orphanage just because Oliver Kahn decided, no, no money for the orphanage. My pride is at stake here.
Yeah. That's classic Oliver Kahn for everyone.
Cold-blooded. Man, you shouldn't underestimate a guy like that in a fight.
Yeah. Georgie Best was a badass in the terms that he just didn't give a fuck. Georgie Best just wanted his pints of beer, his women, his orgies, and that's I think all he wanted.
He's a philanderer.
Yeah, he is. He's a philanthropist. But United were supposed to come to Israel for an exhibition game, and Georgie Best was supposed to be there. The day of the game, he didn't show up, and he wasn't in the matchday squad. And later on, they came to know that Georgie Best actually went off to US. I think he was having a party with a bunch of playboys and just drinking his time away. So he's like, yeah, I mean, of course, Playboy is more important than football, it seems.
Basically, Georgie Best is not even coming to the fight.
Yeah, he's going to just probably have sex somewhere. Yeah.
He wouldn't be present in this matchup.
So Oliver Kahn takes it.
Yeah, Oliver Kahn takes it.
Outstanding.
And also the fact that even Georgie Best is dead. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true as well. Rest in peace, Georgie Best.
Rest in peace. With the best.
So I think that caps off our round of 16.
Round 1.
So let's just show on the screen the bracket, how it looks like right now. The top 8 contenders and how the bracket looks. And let's jump into our first matchup of round of 8, which is Roy Keane and Mario Balotelli.
Okay. So again, like as we established with Mario Balotelli, I think he's a little insane. He's a little unpredictable. So I think those are good things to go in, like when you're going in for a fight. With Roy Keane, it's a bit more predictable, right?
Right. But I mean, because it's predictable, you know he's coming and there's nothing you can do to stop him, right? Back in 2001, it was United playing Newcastle. And Aaron Shearer was at Newcastle back then. And I think United were losing that game. So, of course, Roy Keane, being Roy Keane, wanted to take out his frustrations. So he throws the ball at Aaron Shearer and then starts throwing punches at him. Luckily, he doesn't land a punch on the Baldy Shearer, but the referee came in and...
The Baldy Shearer.
The Baldy Shearer, yeah. Because I think he was losing his hair in the front, right? But once again, like in the last round, Keane got sent off again, which was the story of his life. So who do you think takes this round? Bartelli being unpredictable or Keane just being a beast?
I mean, with Keane, I think the predictability means that there's a pattern over there.
Right.
I mean, and I feel like in that case, if he's established this pattern that he goes into a fight and then he always ends up victorious, I think I would go for predictability over there.
Yeah. There's history of violence with Keane. I think Keane wins this.
Impressive.
But let's talk about the second matchup now, which is quite interesting because they're both absolute massive beasts. Zlatan versus Oliver Kahn.
Fight.
So they're both really big dudes. So this would be like an interesting matchup over here. I feel like again with Zlatan, he's like a Taekwondo champion.
He's a black belt in Taekwondo, actually.
Yeah. So Oliver Kahn is just mean to kids.
Yeah. They're both big physical presence, but Zlatan he just brings too much firepower.
Yeah. I think Oliver Kahn could beat up those 9-year-olds, but I don't think he could beat up someone as big as Zlatan.
Yeah. Also, Oliver Kahn now being almost close to 60 years old doesn't help against
This is true.
That is true, yeah. So I think Zlatan takes this
Well
matchup.
done.
Let's move on to the third matchup in the round of 8, which is Eric Cantona and Vinnie Jones.
Yeah.
So who do you think takes the fight?
So again, this is another interesting one because the both of them did get into an altercation. So there was a situation where Vinnie Jones was going in for the tackle and Cantona is just about to try and avoid it, but Vinnie Jones still clips him. And you see Cantona get clipped, but then he remains unfazed through all of that. So now to me, this seems like a bit of Eric Cantona just basically saying, oh, maybe I shouldn't hit back at someone as badass as Vinnie Jones. So I'm going to say Vinnie Jones on this one.
That could be the case. I mean, as much as I would like to say Eric Cantona, I think with this one, because Vinnie Jones has just been that massive beast who has that history of violence. He's a very, very intimidating guy. And I think with this one, we'll have to go the route of Hollywood.
Oh, because they're both actors as well.
They're both actors as well. And but Vinnie Jones has done, I think, better roles in movies. He also played Juggernaut in X-Men.
So he does play more badass roles.
Yeah.
Hollywood has decided that he's the more badass character.
Eric Cantona in Shekhar Kapoor's Elizabeth played a French diplomat, and I don't.
There itself.
Yeah, that does not bode well for.
I don't think French diplomats speak badass to me.
Yeah. So as much as it hurts me to say this, I think Vinnie Jones takes this round.
Outstanding.
Vinnie Jones takes it then.
And moving on to the last and probably the most interesting, I think my favorite matchup of this round, Reno Gattuso and Joey Barton.
Oh my god, dude, both of these people are absolutely insane. I think with Joey Barton, there was an instance where he beat up his own teammate so badly. I think his name was Usman Dabo. He beat him so badly he left him with a detached retina.
That's just disgusting and horrifying.
He's a psychopath. So how much ever of like a beast Gattuso is, man, I think Joey Barton has insanity on his side.
I mean, Gattuso did headbutt then Spurs coach Joe Jordan in the Champions League, and it was a pretty nasty headbutt. I mean, you could see Joe Jordan fall back and stumble all the way back, and a big brawl broke out. But
it's a detached retina.
It's
a detached retina.
That's just another level of insanity.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying if you have to go with detached retina in this.
Joey Barton takes it.
Impressive.
Joey Barton takes it. So we now have our top 4 contenders, the final 4, the famous 4, the Fantastic 4. I almost missed that one. So let's jump into the first matchup of the semifinals. Joey the King Barton versus Vinny the
Pooh. Vinny the Pooh Jones. That certainly makes him seem a lot less badass. So, okay, let me just give a story about Vinny Jones. So Vinny Jones was once in a bar fight and he wanted to play pool with these people. And they were like, no, like just fucking wait your turn. And Vinny Jones being Vinny Jones fucking gets pissed off, and then they're like, why are you getting pissed off? And then they're like, wait, aren't you the guy from fucking X-Men? And then he got even more pissed off, so he started fighting the dudes. But this being said, I think there was a report that came out where they said one of the dudes actually pinned him to the ground.
Yeah. That does not bode well for Vinny Jones.
-1 for Vinny
Yeah.
Jones.
Sometimes the bear just gets pinned down.
This is true.
But Joey Barton, though, man, there's another story about Joey Barton and how insane this guy is. So Joey Barton was in a cab one night, and he asks the cab driver to go through the drive-thru of McDonald's, and the cab driver says no. And then, so if a driver, so let's say you order an Uber, and the Uber driver tells you that he cannot take you to Tim Hortons or McDonald's, what would you do? Would you just come home and be like, it's fine?
Sorry for asking.
Sorry for
Because
asking.
I'm a polite
Yeah,
person.
you'll probably give him like 2 stars on Uber, but that's
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah.
But I think the most logical thing that struck Joey Barton was, let's beat this guy the fuck up. Let's rip the car radio out
What the fuck?
and damage the car. That's what Joey Barton did because he could not get his Happy Meal.
Then I guess Joey Barton takes
It's
it.
Joey Barton.
Joey Barton takes it then.
If a Happy Meal gives you that much anger, it's not worth it.
I mean, it's a happy meal. It's not an angry meal. Come on, Joey.
Yeah. Come on, Joey.
Okay, so we then have Roy Keane and Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
Both United players. So again, where will our bias take us this time?
So I'll make a case for Roy Keane, and I think this is the act that defines Roy Keane's career in a nutshell. Back in '97, Roy Keane took a bad tackle from Alf-Inge Haaland, and I think he was sidelined for quite a long while. Comes back, and in 2001 he again faces Haaland. So, of course, what's the most logical thing to do? Blow that guy's knee out. And the tackle was so severe that Haaland never played another minute of football in his life.
Yeah.
So that just tells you where Roy Keane's mindset was. And I think the statement that he made after the tackle was, he said that was his job and that was he was supposed to do,
That's
right?
exactly. It's like, why are you blaming me for doing
So
that?
that's just Roy Keane. He just takes revenge, blows her knees out, and doesn't say sorry.
Yeah, but so this is my point for Zlatan though. So we've already mentioned the taekwondo.
Yeah.
We've mentioned his roundhouse kicks.
Yeah.
He's also a bigger guy than Roy Keane as well.
Yes.
But I think the other thing that people don't talk about as much was the incident when Mido, his then teammate, threw a fucking pair of scissors at him. But Zlatan dodged the scissor and punched Mido in the face. So good reflexes, roundhouse kick, bigger dude, Zlatan.
I think Zlatan was the inspiration for The Matrix. An
If
absolute
they ever
badass,
wanted a
yeah.
Swedish Neo, Zlatan, he spent some time in LA too, man.
Yeah.
He's pretty Hollywood now.
Yeah. So I guess with that we have our finals set. It is Joey Barton versus Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And this is how the bracket looks so far. We bid adieu to Vinny the Pooh Jones and Roy Keane.
Bit adieu to the poo.
Adieu to the Pooh. So with that, let's get into the finals. Joey Barton and Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Fight.
It's a tough match, but I think I'll start with Zlatan. I guess. So Zlatan and Joey Barton actually have had a tussle back in France when I think Zlatan played for PSG and Joey was playing for Olympique Marseille. And so what happened was I think Zlatan kept on calling Joey a big pussy, and
As you would.
as he would, and then Joey responded with saying that at least I don't have a very very big nose. Which, I mean that's just elite level banter, man.
And
I
as
mean,
someone
one's a
with
pussy.
very, very big nose. I
Yeah.
take offense to that.
But again, I mean, with Zlatan, I guess like the argument's going to be made that he's just insane. At this point, there's not many anecdotes that I can probably give you, but I think just going through the amount of footage that we have where Zlatan just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Just keeps on kicking players in the stomach, in the abdominal area, on the face.
Elbowing them in the
It's
face.
like cheap shots, elbows, punches, slaps. For some reason, Zlatan loves slapping people.
Yeah. I think, you know what I think it is? I think it's mental instability. And I
is.
think that's why this is such a fitting finale.
Yeah.
Is because I think these are the two most mentally unstable people in football right
Yeah.
now. So I'm very happy it worked out this way. So in my defense of Joey Barton, because there's numerous occasions with Joey Barton, the criminal that he is. So Joey Barton had this one incident where it was the city Christmas party. And right after the Christmas party, of course, these people have been drinking and stuff. And that time, a young winger by the name of Jamie Tandy thought it would be a good idea to burn Joey Barton's jersey just as a little, after drinking Christmas prank.
Yeah.
And Joey Barton sees this and he was like, oh, of course I have to take revenge, but not as a normal person because I'm fucking Joey Barton. So what he did was he lit a cigar and he stopped it on Jamie Tandy's eye. He stopped a lit cigar on Jamie Tandy's eye. And if that does not fucking convince you, let me give you one final argument in favor of Joey Barton. When he scored a late equalizer against Everton, game gets over, he pulls his pants down and he moons, shows his ass to the entire stadium. That, my friends, is Joey Barton.
Oh man, Joey Barton. I mean, you know what? If of all the people in the footballing world, if I had to sit down and have a pint with someone, at the risk of my retina and eyes, I think it'll be Joey Barton.
It would be Joey Barton.
This is just insane. Like, this
would
guy
be
has no
staying
regard
far
for
away.
humanity. He has no regard for anyone's life. I mean, I think he was. At some point, you'd think the FA would look at themselves and be like, I wonder who has the power to stop this guy from playing football.
Like, is it us? No, maybe not. But this is the thing though, he's an absolute madman, and just for that, I think we should do like a bonus clip,
Yeah.
just full of like Joey Barton's
Oh yeah.
top 10 or top 30 or top 100.
Or even like top 10,000. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's 10,000.
There's numerous issues. We haven't even got into it, and this is besides his Twitter rants.
Oh yeah.
So are we finalizing on Joey Barton then?
I'm just flabbergasted with Joey Barton at this point.
So then I guess that's Joey
Okay.
Barton.
Outstanding.
There we have it. Congratulations, Joey Barton. You have won our Bad Boys Championship 2020.
Fatality.
Joey Barton could not be here today,
Yeah.
so we will be accepting this trophy on his behalf. So congratulations once again, Joey Barton. Here is our little makeshift award that we've made for you. It's not about, clearly it's not about the value of the trophy. This is just a gesture.
It's the thought that matters.
It's the thought that matters.
Yeah.
And we have put very little thought into this because we do not care about you, Joey Barton.
Also,
Don't at us.
Yeah. Please do not use that vase to break our heads open.
Thank you in advance, Joey.
Yeah. Also, for our viewers out there, we are dropping a special feature on the man, the myth, the legend, Joey Barton. So stay tuned for that.
Yes, so thank you for watching the video, guys. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, as we said at the beginning of the video, this is our list of badasses. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Who would make your list and who would win your list, if anything. So thanks again for watching, and we shall see you next time.
Toodles.
Toodaloo.